Congratulations on your new single, which we're going to jump into in a moment.
I'm gonna make you sick of me.
First, you know, where to start? I mean, I was looking at this last night trying to figure out where I start with this because your history is just so enormous and so big and your influence. But let's talk about Parliament Funkadelic. Let's talk about what you set out to do at the beginning, because you mixed up a whole bunch of stuff that had never really been put together before.
Well, we started out wanting to be Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Okay, that's a little far back. Well, let's say we started out wanting to be the Temptations. I think you probably remember them, right?
Sure.
So we did that. We were Motown. We was on Motown. We did the R&B, but we wasn't the right height. You know, you have to be 6 feet. Everybody.
Right.
We look like steps. So we never made it that way. So let's get funky. Once you get funky, you can look like anything.
So you started off doing doo-wop, as you
That's
mentioned,
what I'm saying.
right?
We were doo-wopping like the Temptations, making love songs. Baby, please, I get on my knees for you.
Tell me a little bit about, all of you, we'll go along the line, about your earliest musical recollections, your first exposure to music, when you felt it for the first time and thought, this is something that makes me feel something.
Wow. Okay. That goes back. And the Beatles did it for me, actually. I was old enough to see the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. And seeing that just inspired me to want to do what they were doing.
But can you remember the feeling? I mean, you see that on a little TV.
Oh man, just excited. You know what I mean? I was a little kid. My mother and father had a black and white TV, and everybody knew they was coming to town. It was a big thing. We was just hyped, and you know, and they were all of what we expected them to be.
Right.
Everything. You know. So.
They just must have looked so weird though, compared with everything else that was going on.
But for kids like me, that was like not weird. That was like what was going to be next. So we were happy to see that.
Weird was the look in the 60s.
Sure.
You went out of your way to be weird.
Right.
You had the ambition to be weird. You tried to be weirder than the next one. That was the thing. You tried to be as unlike anybody else, you know, to the point we ran around with sheets and diapers on. And we were grown men. That shit wasn't cute. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like we were trying to be cute. We chased people out of the club. I mean, and we had an ambition. That was like a mark on our thing when we could scare the hell out of somebody. You know?
Let me ask Blackbird, what about you? What was your first introduction to music?
The first introduction that I recall was laying in my crib, listening to the likes of Miles Davis, Modern Jazz Messengers, Art Blakey, and Train, music like that. And then Mom was playing Sam Cooke. It wasn't as much visual as it was mental.
What you were hearing. What about the bass? What drew you to the bass?
What about the bass?
Yeah.
It was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pop had the big Magnavox stereo with the extra speaker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I do.
I had it good.
Yeah. When was it something you figured you wanted to do?
Dad says about age 5 or 6.
Pretty early. You were locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's so bad now. He's been doing that shit for a long time.
But you started off with a band with your cousin, right? Is that right?
Oh, me?
Somebody did. Blackbird, I thought. No. All right, I got my information wrong. Tell me about your first band.
First band was junior high school. We would call Total Concept Unlimited.
That was deep.
We played everything rhythm and blues, but with me being in the band, if we did not play Maggot Brain, I quit.
Right.
Oh wow.
That was what it like being in the band with me. We had to play something funkadelic.
Yeah. So how'd that work out for you, that first band?
I left.
He's in Funkadelic.